Hi, guys, and welcome back to another podcast with me, your host, Bruhaha. I've sat down a few times to try to create this podcast, and I've struggled because I don't want to make it sound cheesy. Because the topic of conversation I want to talk about is like relationships in different time zones, on different schedules, long distance, basically when your times do not align. That's what I've been wanting to talk about, and I've sat down a couple of times, and I just been trying not to make it cheesy, but there's no way of not making it cheesy. I'm talking about relationships. So, how many of you guys have been in a long distance relationship or relationship with your partner's schedule does not line up with your own? I'm talking about like you working the day shift and they work the night shift. Like, how many have been on that boat? Because I know plenty of people who have. And to be honest, they all tell me they hate it. I wish I was lying. But everyone has told me that obviously, like, they wish their partner was on their time zone or had a similar schedule so they didn't go to sleep with their partner working or vice versa. Spending weekends together was more meaningful or anything like that, but they told me they straight up hated it. And I mean, I can kind of understand why. Imagine you going, like, let's say you went to sleep last night. Let's say you live together and you guys don't have a schedule that lines up. And this is, I'm assuming you guys work like Monday through Friday. Every couple is different. Yada, yada, yada. This is like a typical Monday through Friday kind of schedule here, my example. So let's say you went to sleep last night and your partner was working, and then they get home super late and you're asleep. Then the next day you wake up for your job and they sleep till like 10, 11 ish, assuming. Then they wake up and then do their stuff, like they cook, they go to their gym, whatever, blah 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 blah, and then they go to work. And then you leave work and then you do all your stuff while they're at work, and you go to your gym, you cook whatever you want to cook. And then you go to sleep and they're still at work. And then they get home and the cycle repeats while you're asleep. And then the cycle just keeps repeating. To be honest, I think about that, and honestly, I wouldn't like it. It's it's similar in the sense that you don't really have the same time schedule, or you don't really share the time with someone, even if you're in a different time zone. I've had friends and people who are close to me, very close to me, go through a long distance relationship with their partner, lived in a different continent, in a different country. Their time zone was like a 6-hour difference, and like everything was just like a big mumbo jumbo because they couldn't really see each other properly and they couldn't really spend time with each other. Well, which brings up to like my first point. There has to be some pros and cons to everything. So I kind of want to get the cons out of the way to finish on like a good high note at the end, finish on a pro and a happy note. So I'm going to start with the cons. Oh, before I continue, this is probably going to be a shorter podcast because obviously you guys can tell I am by myself today. So yeah, let's start with the cons. The most obvious one. You don't get to see them or talk to them as often. Ideally, you want to be in this relationship because you like the person. Which means in theory, you want to spend time with them and see them as much as you can. Obviously, again, every relationship is different. And you may want to see someone frequently, but you may only be able to see them on weekends or days that you guys are both off. So take it with a grain of salt. This is from experience of friends that I have that have dealt with this. So you basically don't get to see or talk to each other as much, which kind of sucks assuming you want to be in this relationship. Means that since you don't talk as much, communication can be very difficult. How can you communicate with someone who's 6 hours away? You tell them good morning, and by the time you're waking up, they may be already in afternoon lunchtime. Like, it's not easy. The communication can suck, and a lot of times that can make you feel like you're abandoned, or that they don't like you, or that they're pushing you away, even though it may not be the case. So you gotta put a little extra a little more effort into the relationship. With all these issues that happen, a flame can die out, and a lot of relationships end because the flame dies out, and it kind of sucks. You think that person doesn't want to be with you anymore, because maybe they don't communicate as much, you don't see them as often, you don't talk as much, time frames don't even align. So the flame can die out. And in the example I gave earlier about the schedules lining up, if you live together in that case, like it can affect both the physical and mental aspect. I mentioned this topic to someone, and when I got to that example to them, they told me it's not even that can affect their relationship heavily, because let's say one person's already sleeping, and when they get in bed, that the person who was originally sleeping is a light sleeper, so the other person knows that and stops getting into the bed and sleeps in the couch, and this becomes this whole block and foundation that was built. Everything gets shattered because you don't want to see your person sleeping on the sofa, if that makes sense. But at the same time, they may feel bad going in, so it can really, really, really damage their relationship. And it kind of sucks. I mean, I wish, if I'm being honest, relationships in general are very difficult. Even if you live close, even if you have the same schedule, even if everything quote unquote aligns perfectly, it's still very, very, very difficult. I still haven't found the first couple who has it figured out, if I'm being honest. I don't think any couple has it figured out. I'm gonna say it out there, no one has it figured out. Don't come at me. Those couples have been together maybe 60 years, 50 years. Maybe they have it figured out. But hey, the target audience here is younger people. And I haven't met a single person who has not had an argument or a bad moment with their partner. May that be someone who's in a heterosexual relationship, monogamous relationship, same gender homosexual relationship, transgender. Like, I haven't met anybody who's been in a relationship without an argument. Even the couples that are 50 years together. Like, it's crazy to me, but that's great. That's great. And honestly, I've always dreamed about being like that old little grandma with like the kids and the grandkids and the husband that I've been with for so long. And I always dreamed of growing old with someone. So maybe I would suck at long distance, because I personally like having the person I'm with be close by and be able to go see a movie or go eat something, like go for a meal, go for a walk, go to the beach, anything really. So for me, like long distance, probably not the best, if I'm being honest. But that's me. There's a lot of people who do it, and then it's great for them. They end up in this amazing relationships and these amazing stories. And it's crazy to me. And a lot of my friends have met their partners through online apps, others through mutual friends. Like it's like the way you meet people now, there's so many ways, to be honest. Now, to get into the pros. When I was thinking of pros, I honestly had a bit of a harder time doing that end, the pros and the cons. So if I mention some pros and you thought of more, leave them in my comment. I want to see the perks of having a different schedule, being in a long distance, being in a different time frame, anything like that. Like, I want to hear your pros. So here's what I came up with. If you've always been with someone and suddenly everything switches like that, you get to discover yourself. You get to discover what hobbies you like, what new things you want to try, all this other thing. You get to be with you, if that makes sense, with yourself. You have time for yourself. You can start a hobby. You can get back to an old hobby. And if you've been, and this is honestly for my friends out there, you guys are my friends, you listeners out there who are in a toxic relationship, honestly, if you ever get the chance to do this and you're in a toxic relationship and you haven't left and you have the chance to be in a different time zone, a different schedule, take it, enjoy it. And it will honestly make you realize if you are with them because you're afraid of being alone, or if you're with them because you actually want to be with them. Ideally, you want to be with your partner because you actually want to be, not because you need them, not because you feel lonely or feel like anything like that. I know some situations are different and difficult, so I don't, this is obviously on a case by case basis. Wow. I can speak, I promise. It's a case by case basis. But in my opinion, if you're able to get into a relationship and you have the option of at least doing this, I don't know, a month, 2 months, 2 months go by quickly. Guys, a year goes by quickly. You can spare 2 months in different schedules. You can learn if you actually want to be with the person or if you're afraid to be by yourself. And 9 out of 10 times when you're in a toxic relationship, you realize that you're just afraid to either be by yourself or that a toxic person became like your shield to something that's going on internally and deeper. And since they're working a different shift than you, you get to actually analyze and understand and come to a conclusion if you actually want to be with them or not. If you do, then great. Keep working at it, keep continuing the relationship, put your effort, put your best communication forward so the relationship can prosper. And honestly, when you do get to spend time with them in the future, may that be on a weekend, or maybe if you guys take a trip together, or anything, even a FaceTime call. Like those little moments where you actually get to see each other and spend time together, maybe hold each other, like anything, they become more meaningful. And if I'm being honest, I think those are the moments that people tend to remember the most. When you obviously you remember the bad. Unfortunately, the bad normally weighs more than the good. Like if you ever weigh good and bad, normally what comes to your head before anything are the bad things that happen, not the good ones, because bad things by some reason weigh more than good ones. But if you were to think back into a relationship and only think of the good moments you've been with that person, you're not, yeah, you could remember the trip that you went to, but are you going to remember the whole thing? Or what are you going to remember fondly? Singing songs in the car if it was a road trip. If you, let's say you're in Orlando when you go to Disney. Taking pictures with the characters, going on the rides, eating a Disney, like the churros and the Mickey ice creams. Like, are you going to remember the whole trip as a whole? Or are you going to remember little pieces, that were meaningful to you? Are you going to remember, I don't know, anything? And if, like those little moments when you get to see each other, when you have different time frames, time zones, long distance, anything, become more meaningful. And to be honest, I think that's beautiful. I think that's amazing. I think that's great, because you need to have those moments with your partner in which it's just the two of you and you can enjoy, that you can talk, that there's going to be no distractions, no interruptions, because you've been so busy all week. You finally get to hold their hand. You finally get to hug them. It's meaningful. And unfortunately, as time goes on in that relationship, that kind of feeling of meaning diminishes a little, even if you're not in a long distance relationship. And even if you're in the same time zone and everything, quote unquote, like I was saying, is perfect, you still have to fight for the relationship, to having those moments. Because at the beginning of the relationship, a call, you can ignore like a random call that wasn't like worth it, because you were with a person and you were just getting to know them. But 2-3 years down the line, they might get the call and you could be having a cute little moment and they'll take the call because, well, we can continue that later. And it shouldn't be like that. In my opinion, I think at least once a month. I'm not saying leave your electronics, because some people can't do that. And to be honest, I carry mine more for emergency. I tend to not use them in general when I'm out on dates or anything like that. But I think every once in a while you should go out on a date and not necessarily have no distractions, because let's say like in my case, my mom calls, and if she knows I'm on a date and she calls, it's something important, so I need to pick up. But if I get a random call, I don't know, from a friend or something, I can just let it be. Like, it can ring, I'll get back to my friend later, and vice versa. Like, every once in a while, go on it. Like, even if you're not in a long distance relationship, go on a date and try to have as little distractions as possible. I don't know, get one of those card games to get to know each other. I don't know, something you guys haven't done, something different, something you'll enjoy. So those are the pros that I ended up with. I guess if you've ever been in a long distance relationship, like, please let me know down below. I would love, 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 love to hear it. I know I say love a lot, but you guys are awesome and I really enjoy talking to you, and I hope you enjoy what I'm talking about. As always, if you have any suggestions of what you want to hear in the future, please, please, please leave them in the comments below. I really enjoy reading the suggestions, and I will work with you guys to see what you guys want to hear. If you want me to research something specific, let me know. I will go research it, like right now. Like, you have no idea. If you're curious to say about it, I don't know, I like murder cases and stuff like that. I could research something and try it for you guys if you guys want. If not, obviously just leave your opinions down below. I have a couple of topics lined up from suggestions I've received for like a few weeks in a row, in a couple of weeks. Hopefully you guys are excited about it. I'm excited about them. I've laid it out a little bit. But yeah, I'm super, super excited, and I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I know it was shorter than the last one, but hey, when you're one person, sometimes it's a little harder to talk and talk and talk and talk. I do hope you guys are listening and enjoying what I'm saying, because I really enjoy talking to you guys and sharing my point of view and sharing my thoughts with things that you guys even care about. And yeah, so if you have any suggestions, leave it in the comments below. Like and share this video, and subscribe if you want to get notified when my next video comes out, which will be obviously next Monday. I'm trying to keep a schedule as tight as possible, so I, like perfectly every Monday to start off your week. Alrighty, till next week, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, wonderful week, wonderful afternoon, whatever you're doing. If you're eating, enjoy your meal. I hope you really do enjoy your day and have a good day and week and anything. And just smile. It's always a beautiful day to get to know you and enjoy yourself, if I'm being honest. So until next time, I'm signing off. See you guys. Talk to you guys later with your host, Bruhaha. Alrighty. Love you guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.